Hello, my name is Jack Lappin and I'm auditioning for a role at Contemporary Theatre. Everything about me, a lot of it revolves around film. Ever since I went to the cinema as a kid, I've just had a burning passion for film, theatre, anything like that. Anything that revolves around that media. And a lot of those hobbies and interests in that world have translated over to my love for other forms of media like video games or even books, comic books, things like that, art. I love it. I absolutely love it. And a lot of my hobbies and interests that come with that are going for walks, traveling, seeing family, seeing friends, listening to music, going to the gym. Most of the time it is just going to the cinema, but it's always nice to branch out after like every once in a while. So today, my monologue is going to be about a play called Wasted Talent, which is by Joseph Anone, and that was released this year. And this play, it revolves around someone feeling like they've wasted the talent, and it's something that does hit very close to home with me because for so long I've always wanted to do this, and I've never been in the right headspace to do it. I've never had the motivation to do it, and hopefully this time round I can give it a go and stick with it. So the monologue is as goes. He stopped believing, and that's why he failed. He quit. So much talent, so much potential, but he stopped believing in himself. He lost his way because he couldn't figure out what to do with his career. And I guess all the stress had just added up and it finally broke him. His music was great. I would listen to it all the time. It would get me so pumped up and it would put me in such an emotional state. His lyrics never got old. Never got old. No one gave him a chance. But I think that's the problem with today's world. It doesn't matter. He didn't give himself the chance to take control of his career in the way that I knew he was very capable of doing. Maybe it was just the fear of doubting himself and it just consumed him. It crippled his ambition. He did it for so long with no financial gain and no recognition for his genius. He couldn't do it no more. He gave up, and that's why he hung himself in his studio. He just couldn't do it anymore. The next monologue is from the movie Joker. And Joker is a movie that sticks out to me in a lot of ways because it is a fine piece of cinema, it's a well-crafted script, and it's a good representation of how someone with mental health may be feeling, some of the things that can come with this kind of hidden illness. And it was a real eye-opener, and it is definitely something that stuck with me when I went to see it at the cinema, and it is a film that I would say moved me in a lot of ways, not just because I love that character, but because the idea of mental health being used to motivate a character's motivation and how he responds to the world around him in the crumbling factors of society. It's a really interesting take. Have you seen what it's like out there, Murray? Do you ever actually leave the studio? Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy. Do you think men like Thomas Wayne ever think about what it's like to be somebody that they're not? To be somebody but themselves, they don't. They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys, that we will werewolf and go wild. I have a problem with Thomas Wayne. I do. Everybody's awful. But you're awful, Murray. Playing my video. Inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me. You're just like the rest of them. So my song of choice is again from Joker, And the music in this film, as mentioned earlier on, kind of similar to how the tone of the film goes. Joker's score hit me in a way that was like, Hans Zimmer has always been one of my favourite music composers, but for this movie, Hildur Guðnadóttir is one of the best composers I think I've ever heard. And the soundtrack that she did for Joker is a great conveyor of emotion. You really get behind the character and the tone that the film brings, what she's going for with it, and it's an incredible soundtrack. And this track really conveys sort of how the film and how specific scenes go across. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the opportunity.